1 week from today, I'm headed out to southern Colorado for an 8-day archery mule deer hunt that, depending on how things go and if a buddy joins me or not, could turn the latter few days into an elk hunt, all in the same area. But I wanted to show what all I'm bringing for this. It'll be backpacking in. Camp will be setting up a spike camp about 4.5 to 5 miles deep from the trailhead. So just want to walk through everything. All this will end up in my pack, but I'll go through it for you. And start off, just tell you I'm using a EXO 4800 pack. This will be my 3rd year to use it, and it's been an absolute workhorse. So in addition to that, I'll have some trekking poles. My pack weight going in, when all this is in there, the pack's 39 pounds with all the stuff without water. So with water will be about 45, and then I'll strap my bow to it, which will make it right at 50 pounds, almost exactly. So getting in, getting set up, trekking poles will be great for the climb, especially up from the valley floor up to the top of the mesa. And then of course, if I get something in packing out, I think my day weight, once camp is unloaded, will be somewhere around 20-ish pounds. So when I'm hunting, so not too bad for that. But clothes wise, got some merino wool socks. I really love, over the past 4 years that I've been doing this, come to love the wool. My base layer will be Arrow wool t-shirt. And then on top of that will be the First Light Wick hoodie. This is my absolute favorite piece of hunting gear that I own. It's lightweight, but partnered with the base layer t-shirt underneath, gives really good warmth. And when you're just exposed out on the mountain, having a super lightweight hood to pull over the top is a game changer. Merino wool bottoms for the base layer, and then I have some First Light corrugated guide pants. They're light enough where you can wear them out west hunting when you're doing a bunch of hiking, but then whenever you stop, have at least enough thickness to them to give a little bit of warmth. And then my knee's been bothering me, so I'll slap on a really lightweight compression knee sleeve. But that's basically what I will hunt in for my base. If I get too warm, I'll take off the t-shirt and go with just the Wick hoodie. In the mornings, it tends to be a lot of dew on the ground, and to keep socks from getting wet and blisters, I'll put these leg gaiters on. Other clothes that I'm bringing, let me show you here, are just really for layering. I got a little camp bag. This is just some super lightweight, comfortable shorts and an extra t-shirt and a drop pair of socks that are in here. So I'll wear that. And then I've got a beanie for cold mornings, and without much hair when I sleep at night. It's probably going to be in the low 40s or possibly even down to the mid 30s. So my head gets a little cold. So I got to have something for that. This is the Source jacket. It's a silent material puffy jacket. So mornings glassing after I get cool, that's really great to be able to slap on. I'll use that a bunch. And then if the temps do end up being a little colder, this is a thicker merino wool. It's kind of the mid weight that they have. And so I would swap out the Wick hoodie for this if things start to get colder, and then just have spare change of socks and merino base, just because I'm going to be out there for a long time. Boot wise, my first year that I went 4 years ago, I bought these crispy boots. I think they're the GTX Summit non-insulated. They've been an absolute workhorse, still holding up, super broken, really good ankle support, and a stiff sole with enough flexibility that you can walk around kind of on top of the mesas and stuff without having a completely solid footbed. So crispy boots have been amazing. I do carry bear spray. There's a decent population of black bears in the area. Over the past 4 years, We've encountered 6 black bears. Used bear spray once as a deterrent. The bear wasn't coming at us, but it was close enough that we wanted to get some pepper spray down. So I'll pack that with me, and that really does it for clothing and everything. That's what I will have with me for the full 8 days. So camp wise then, this is a Big Agnes Fly Creek 1-person tent. It's a vestibule style. I've used it several times before. It's a great tent. There's not much room inside, but the vestibule from the rain fly that comes off the front at night gives me an area to pull my pack in. So it's not inside my tent, but it's covered by the rain fly, so it doesn't get rain or dew on it. So it keeps that dry. And in the mornings, I can open it up and just kind of sit out the front of my tent, and it has worked pretty good. So that's tent. Sleeping bag. I've had this Mountain Hardwear Ultra Lamina 32 for at least 15 years, possibly longer. So it's probably not a 32 degree bag anymore, but it's ultra light. It's super compact and has done really well. If I do start to get cooler at night, I'll just leave on the pullover and kind of basically climb in with my jacket on, whatever's necessary to stay warm. But that's what I'll use for a sleeping bag. Sleeping pad is this Nemo Tensor insulated pad, so it's got a good R value, which helps me stay warm at night when the ground starts to get really cold. I used it 2 years ago when we went up and camped on top of the mesa, and it's a little bit loud because of some of the ultralight material they use to insulate it, but when you're super tired at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, and it's comfortable. Even though it may be louder, it's comfortable. So that's kind of sleep system. Big Agnes ultralight tent, Ultra Lamina 32 degree bag, and then the Nemo sleeping pad. I'm also for shade at camp. I am gonna pack in, this is extra weight, probably about an extra pound, a tarp. It's like a 10 by 14 tarp with some paracord and stakes. So because my tent is so small and I'm not hauling my tent, I'm not hunting with my camp on my back. Once I get back there, I'm setting it up, everything's there. So for a few of these things, I'm bringing more than I normally would, because I know once I get to camp, I'm just unloading it. And so this is one of the luxury items. So I'll be able to, at camp, string up a shaded area to be able to sit in. And if it ends up where I need shade for when I'm going to be setting up and glassing, even if it's away from camp, I could throw this in there and pack it around with me. So just an ultralight tarp. And then as far as like seating, I've always brought, this weighs just a couple ounces. It's a little Z foam pad, and it's really great just to have stuffed in the side of my pack. And whenever I sit down to eat lunch, or I'm sitting on a spot to glass, it just gives something to keep me off the ground. It gives a little bit of insulation if it is colder outside, and it's just good to have a little cushion. Now the new luxury item is this Helinox Chair Zero. I'm gonna be out there by myself for 6 days. I may have company for the last 2. So it's just like, man, what's something that I could do just from a mental standpoint that is going to involve one pound. This thing was only 1 pound. It's going to be a little bit heavier pack, but it's going to help me, I think, be comfortable. And at the end of a long hunt or midday, if I come back to camp, will give me something besides a tiny tent. So whether I'm sitting in this just outside of the tent, or if I string up the tarp and I've got a shaded area just to hang out, I think that's going to go a long ways in helping me stay just kind of mentally locked in and not just completely beat down from all the time in the backcountry. So got the chair. For the most part, that really is camp. So tent, sleeping pad, sleeping bag, tarp, and an ultralight chair. We'll see if I love this decision or not. I think I'm going to for just an extra pound. Other things, I'll just go ahead and hit kitchen and food. So for camp kitchen, I used to use a what do they call it? Jet boil, and it works awesome. But it's pretty heavy compared to what I have now. So what I'm using now, because the first year I went in the backcountry, my pack was 54 pounds, and it about crushed me. And so I went on this little bit of a journey to cut pack weight. And now for my camp kitchen, I just use this Toaks titanium cup and a little bitty Snow Peak stove that attaches to a canister that fits inside of my cup. And so all fits in there, super nice, packs up nice and tight, incredibly lightweight. And it's been a great setup. I am also gonna pack in a cup this year, which I've never done before, but I think in the mornings when I have my oatmeal, I can also have my coffee at the same time, and just a little extra item with not just a couple ounces for that. Because I'm going to be back there for 8 days, and I'm going to be doing coffee, peak mules, meals, which require water. I'm going to pack in an extra canister. It says you can get 24 boils out of one, so I can get 3 boils a day. Coffee, oatmeal, and my dinner, it timed out perfect. But I don't want to run out of this and have to make a 8 to 10 mile round trip to get an oatmeal out of the truck. So I'm going to pack in an extra canister of fuel. And then food, for dinners, I'll be using Peak Meals. So I'll be packing in 8 of those. Got biscuits and gravy, beef stroganoff, chicken Alfredo pasta, a little home style chicken and rice, and I'll pick up a few more varieties before I get going. And then I like to do it where the meals that I'm gonna need, I have prepackaged in these day bags. And so in here, I've got 8 day bags. The ingredients are similar but vary a little bit. Like for lunch, I've got a Pro Bar and or beef jerky and some Fritos, or beef jerky and some Cheez-Its. I threw some Sour Patch Kids in there just because. And breakfast will be oatmeal, peanut butter, and honey. I've got Black Rifle coffee, instant coffee in there, and then like a honey stinger. That's basically what's in here every day. My calorie count with a day food bag and a peak meal averages out to about 3,100 to 3,200 calories. It fluctuates just a tad, but basically I'm planning for about 3,200 calories a day to be my food for what I have going on there. So that'll be all my meals for 8 days in the backcountry. Now, other things that I bring back there kind of separate into these different kits. This is my kill kit, and inside of it, you can see I like to try to have things organized. I don't like my stuff loose everywhere. Got game bags for meat care in the grand chance that I get to harvest and bring something home. And then inside this, I've got some sterile gloves. I've got a trash bag that I would put the game bag in for packing it out so I don't get blood all over my pack. Paracord, extra blades for a outdoor gear, changeable blade, knife, but I also have the knife sharpener because I carry on my pack a real lightweight fixed blade knife. And then also in here, of course, is my permit for the wilderness area and my tag for antlered mule deer. It's my first time to go on a mule deer hunt. I've hunted this area the past 3 years for elk. We've harvested 1 elk. We've had lots of other encounters. We've seen some mule deer down low, but most of them are up on top of the mesa. So it's really going to be a new game for me, so to speak, that I hope to be able to figure out. So that's my kill kit. And then I have a first aid, fire, and field kit in there. First aid is some Band-Aids, Leukotape, basic little medicine kit. It's just the bare necessities of what you might need. I do have a quick clot in case I get a cut from something that would be bleeding more significantly than what a Band-Aid could handle. So I have that in there. I throw in this tenacious tape. This is used for patching up gear. So if my tent gets a rip, if my sleeping pad, which is air, gets a hole poked in it, I have a way to repair it out in the field, so I'll throw that in there. I have a lighter in my camp kitchen, but then I'll carry a spare lighter in this one as well as some waterproof matches. So that's first aid, fire, and field kit. I really don't do fires in the backcountry. That's really just in case of an emergency situation. Then I have what I call my 6 a.m. bag. So these are things that I would need in the tent in the middle of the night or first thing in the morning. So got dude wipes for hygiene, if you know what I mean. Use these old gooder bags. I've got, I wear contacts, but at night I use dailies. And so these are my glasses. And the other gooder bag are plenty of contacts. I've got like a whole week's worth of extra just in case something crazy happens. I need to be able to see through my peak sight. And then it's like toothbrush, toothpaste, eye solution, chapstick, that kind of thing. So my 6 a.m. bag, that's what I have in there. Also, I like this just quick accessories. And so this will go like in my hip pouch. It's more dude wipes, Kleenex, it's cold, windy up on top of the mesa, just in case you don't use them for whatever. Another thing of chapstick, a little thing of sunscreen goes in there. Electronics. So because I'm gonna be back there for 8 days, 2 years ago I picked up this Nomad solar panel, and I've got a charging block that's compatible with this, so that'll help me. I've got the charging block ready to go, and it'll get me a few charges, but then I can recharge it and a device using the Nomad. So this is the little charger block, and then I've got the different cables that I need. I've got a USB-C for my phone, and then the other type of charging port that's compatible with my headlight. So one of my headlights is rechargeable. It's the one I use most often. And then I have a backup headlight that runs off of AAA batteries, and I've got extra AAA batteries in here. And then maybe what I would consider one of my most important pieces of gear is this Zoleo satellite communication device. I love it. It pairs up with your phone, and it's got a really intuitive, easy to use app. And I get the unlimited plan. So I can send as many text messages and receive as many text messages through the Zoleo as I need to. So it really helps me stay in contact with Lindsay back home. And with my dad, who kind of tracks along with where I'm hunting and stuff. The other thing it does is an auto check-in feature. And so I have it set up where every hour it sends a check-in message to my dad and to Lindsay, where not only does it say I'm okay, but it also drops a pin on a map to show them exactly where I am, so they can follow along with where I'm going. So this has been awesome. The button I hope to never have to use is this SOS button that's built in to contact emergency personnel, but it does have it in case it's needed for myself or for someone else that I may come across in the backcountry. So I absolutely love having this thing. I've never gone solo before, and if I didn't have this, there's no chance that I would be making this trip. So super glad to have that. I do have a raincoat depending on the forecast. I may or may not take this with me, but I've got that there. And then let's see, last I'll show you my water kit. So what I'm going to be using for hydration. I've got a 3-liter bladder in my pack that'll be like my primary source of water when I'm out hunting. I do also have this Katahdin collapsible 1 liter, and it's got a built-in filter on it. So this is super lightweight. I typically always carry like a little smart water bottle, but it has to be filtered. The good thing about this is that I come across some water, I can take it out, open it up, fill it up, and then I don't have to filter it right then. I just screw the top on, and when I'm thirsty and need it, I just pop it and drink straight out of it, and it filters on the go. So got that. For refilling my pack, I use a Sawyer squeeze filter, and I've got this quick connect on here, and I've got the other side of the quick connect on the hose that goes into my bladder, so I don't have to take my 3-liter bladder out of my pack. to refill it. I just get water out of the creek in the dirty bag, screw this on there, and then clip it into the hose, and I can refill that bladder without having to take it out. And then just an extra bag. I have had one of these bust before, these dirty bags, and so I'm bringing it back up just in case that occurs. And then something else that's new for this year, because I am up top and there's not going to be water like right there next to camp, and with the amount of water that I'll be boiling, I wanted to have a source for camp water that would last several days. And so I picked up this super lightweight, collapsible 3-liter water carrier. And so what I plan to do is when I get up on top of the mesa, I'll get my camp set up, kind of get the stuff I'm not going to be day hunting with all organized, and then I'll go get camp water. And so I'll essentially, now that all the weight's out of my pack, I'll go to the closest water source, which it's going to be within a quarter mile or so, I think. And I'll fill up this 3 liters, I'll fill up this 1 liter, and I'll fill up one of these dirty bags. And so for camp, I'll have 7 to 8 liters on site, which doesn't include the water that I'll carry while I'm hunting. And so for the most part, that's really what I'm taking back there. I've got a bino harness that carries my binos and also my rangefinder, and a little smoke in a bottle for checking wind direction. And if we switch to elk hunting, I carry my calls in that as well. But yeah, I gave this a test pack just a little bit earlier, and I've never gone for this many days in the backcountry, and it fits barely all in there. And so it'll be good. I have been training with a 50-pound sandbag. So with the pack frame and everything, it's about 55 pounds. So at or a little bit heavier than what all this will be when I walk in. So I feel really good about the weight carrying this all in to get it set up for spike camp, but super excited about where we're going. I've modified this over the past 4 years each time that I've gone, and feel like it's pretty dialed in, and really like the system that I have. And I'm hoping that this right here is the big addition. That'll be a big win for hanging out at camp back in the backcountry. But anyway, next time we get here, I hope to be able to check it in and let you know how the pack did hauling out a big mule deer. And if you ever get a chance to go, I hope this helps you kind of figure out and plan through how you might pack up to head into the backcountry. And that, if nothing else, stop thinking about it and just go. That's what we did 4 years ago, and now I can't stop going. So anyway, hope it's helpful.